Location positions, put energy field locations, block for interference line system positions. The vector unit cores and its relation centers and its position is open up everything through tractions. Jump into 20,000 air communication cycles. I'm going to teleport side and the south side. Everything through the east and west is going to come to information system. And the shapes and anomalies is set up through the core center of the Earth rotation system. So we're going to go 20,000 to the future into the center position of the Earth's surface. Simulation is already set up. I got sonar grams and communication signals to the gamming operation center position. So we're going to travel the force team, okay, into the simulation, okay, which is really amazing. So before I get started, thank you all subscribers and viewers who watch my channel as I keep force rising, grand rising. It's important that you understand what force rising is and what grand rising is. It's all about units coming into one atom to one light. Imagine that, 7.5 billion people in one circle light bulb pop, right? So it's understanding how to get into our lights, how to get into our activation of our lights, into our chakras of our lights. We have to understand everything through connection when it comes into unity of consciousness. What does that mean? Unity of consciousness, get in alignments with it, right? That's the most important thing. So you can go through my healing, you go through my connections. I can help you, guide you, and wake you up through your ascensions, wake you up through your connections, better health, wake you up in your consensual system through dream set. I'm going to go in traction locations. It's interference on lines, communication signals. Because the Earth rotation is spinning, so we're going to disintegrate the, and it's hard to do these things because you understand the computer itself has to read its signal, has to understand its information. So if it doesn't understand its information, you're going to get electronic interference. So I have to balance location positions to my body frame so I can take the force team, take the Earth, the actual Earth, change it in position, and teleport the whole Earth into 20,000 air. Okay, so it's done through confirmation. It's gone the communication cycle and everything through those lines to open up everything in the operation center position. Right. So you want to go through my healing, open up your 12 chakra rotation centers. Truly understand, you have to get into this. Right? You have to really form up more within through communication. Every day I communicate with myself through codes and everything, through digitals and everything, through all levels of projections and what I see through my operation cycles and my perceptions. I got eye interference, eye perception interference, and I got radiation cycles interference. So you have to understand where you're connecting to through round connections of your thoughts. You can't have any lacing lines of separation with your thoughts. Remember, I said that before. So basically, when we travel through connections, the whole Earth rotation is going to stop on a dying location position. It's going to spin on location, right? It's going to go really, really fast, right? The center position is already set up, rotation device that's through its connections. We have extremely high rise connections when it comes to galaxy locations. So the universal system is already set up through its alignment. So remember I was telling you about the Earth. It's not connected through circle. It's a road cycle through system. It's everything through shape. So it has everything through what it is. Truly understanding what is the shape of the Earth. It's everything through shape. Now I get a lot of electronic interference again. To the practical levels is trying to find its connections. There's a lot of interference divorcing the lines and lacing line divisions to its positions. It always does this when I travel through recognition. So let's get into connections of the Earth rotation system. Allocated positions and location, centers of location. So we're going to go into the magnetic highway of its information cycle. All right. So the center position opens up everything through the grounds, and opens up everything through the atmospheres, and opens up everything through the center position. So we start off through that, through connection. Okay. It's going to disappear, right? So everything through the connection is the center position when we come into the central line system, okay, of the connection of the Earth. Center position of the Earth. It's right here in the center position. Okay, now we're going to teleport through locations. Now it's going to open the cycle rotation center to its position. Center rotation comes into division. We're start off that through connections, right? And then we have the ground formation system. All right, so it's going to center positions and location positions. That's where it gets really interesting because the particle system goes up through calculation. Now it goes up to so many different levels, electronic divisions. So these are energy ball lights. They go up to See how I sound like a computer, right? Because that's exactly what it is. It's a generator going through solar connections. So it connects them like this around the location positions. See the particle system? The allocated position level system is going to be in 20,000 air connection line system. So it goes in this graphing cycle through its connection, opens up everything through traction location. Now you come in a digital frame of its position. Now it's going to open the cycle rotation centers to its position. Okay, so we go this through calculation. Right? So the sun in itself, through connections and everything, the moon program setting is setting up new positions of the Earth, right? So remember, it's teleporting the Earth through connections of the past and bringing it into the future. Well, same thing, but we're going to disintegrate everything to the center core of this Earth position. Now the graphing location comes into calculation. We get everything through modifications. You get everything through the Earth, the grounds. You get everything through the waters. Make it look like the Earth, right? That's what we want to do through calculation. So you put those in calculation, modification signals. So exactly what it is, the calculation, modification signals to its connection, opens up everything through cycle rotation center to its position. All right. So it's going to disintegrate into the future rotation centers. Okay. It's going to activate it through its light signal. Now we get the sun rotation center to its position. It's graphing to its positions. Okay. It's going to open up its lights. So it's getting ready to teleport. All right. So when it teleports, it's going to go out of its system. It's calculated and modified. It's going to go to higher relative level connection line systems. It's allocated to its position. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, so disintegrated on levels, the connection line system to projection line communication cycles into the calculation of application level, global division level system, mega point location positions, traction locations into its direction position level system, to its line communication cycle to 20,000 air. Okay. So it's disintegrating in so many line communication line signals. It's open all communication systems. See how like you position your Earth rotation center, goes into its cycle rotation system to its calculation modification signal, to its allocated position in its round location. So we're going to center position in this. I'll show you exactly what it is to calculation. And we're going to blue circular rotation center to its position. So you know what it looks like as you travel through conditions coming into 20,000. All right. All right. So we go from here, right? Go from here. We move these connections, right? So we're here, right? So it's going extremely, extremely fast. And when it disappears, it goes out of its equation. Okay. So it's knowing how to do these things through the grounds and everything, through the power centers and everything through the magnetics, the new magnetics, the forcing connections, everything, multi-structural location. So everything in the digital frame is everything through its activation cycle. So the Earth is now in 20,000 air through its connection. Now the waving cycle through its position is opened up everything through connections. So you guys are feeling kind of really weird now because you have to realize that your particle system has changed, your body application system has changed, your travel recognition lights have changed, everything through your thoughts have changed. You're a magnetic force, 20,000 air through connections. So your body is going through reading patterns, through the heat signature patterns, through digital patterns, through all levels of your perception line patterns. You're connected to the Earth rotation center. So it's amazing how you disintegrate anything through its connection. The framing positions and anything through its allocated positions. So the Earth is now 20,000 into its air, right? So we'll lock that in through calculation. Just take one more look at that. through modifications. All right. See, it's gone. See, not there anymore. So I know that because I got a confirmation, right? So if you understand your ears and what they represent, if you understand your eyes, what you see, and if you understand the mind, it's like the orb going through my room, which is extremely real. Okay, it's extremely real. So remember I was telling you about interdimensional, when you actually see an orb and it's very small, okay? And you have to look at the other side. Well, it's kind of like when I see the orb, it's extremely big. It's like bigger than my room. It's bigger than a house. So you're walking into the orb. You're walking into the interdimensional. Okay, so it's the opposite cycle. You're going into that dimension of its orb. And it goes all through digital frame. So you have to understand the aisles, you have to understand the computer aisles, you have to understand the connections of electricities, you have to understand the quantum fields of computers, you have to understand your keyboard phrases, you have to understand your circuit rotations. So I put you guys into 20,000 air of its Earth. Now the central line system to its calculation modified through its division. Okay, so that's what happens when you come out of traction. It's not there anymore, right? It's disappeared. It's gone, right? So to bring it back, you have to do these through the opposite cycle through its position back into 2021. Right? So the circuit rotation in the brainwaves in this position is understanding what's going on through the calculations. A lot of people are getting more confused. A lot of people want to quit. A lot of people are not sure what's going on with the mind. So the mind has to go through its cycle. So I put you guys into 20,000 air to know exactly what the simulation of the Earth is and what it represents to you, to its traveling of its thoughts. No lacing line, anything through separation. Everything's calculated and modified through your directions. Okay, Angel, Tina. Angel, so how's it going? What's it like being 20,000 years into the future? You're now 20,000 years into the future. Right now with the Earth. And the Earth is basically, it's going through connections of codes. It's going through your digital frame. So when you're tapping into another century, another era, another division, another location, another position, another direction, another digital of your body system. Your body system is trying to understand everything through calculation. So it's going. So it's trying to understand your body 20,000 years later. Okay. So lighthearted, floating feet. Yeah. So basically you're flying extremely high, flying high, right? You're not just flying, your whole body is changing the particle system. Remember, so you have to truly understand when you go through one dimension to the next, what happens? Everything through your body, everything through your perception, everything in your mind, everything through your concepts of your creations and all that becomes stronger knowledge and intelligence. So if Tina wants to communicate with Angel, it's instantly going to happen. You're 20,000 years in the future. Just imagine how powerful the mind and the thoughts of the brain is 20,000 years later. Right? So this is understanding how powerful it is when it comes into connection. Everybody has connections when it comes to 7.5 billion people. They're just going to feel tingles. They're going to feel floaty. They're going to feel energetic, like, you know, their connections to their body frame is trying to understand what's going on with the point divisions, trying to understand the dimensional setting, trying to understand the clocking, the time of travel through thoughts. They're lacing line locations and their perceptions and everything through connections. But they're on different energy, plasma energy systems. You guys are on higher level connections of light, so you see more through perception. Because now you know what the simulation is 20,000 years later. Okay, feeling amazing. And that's what it is. It's understanding what you're doing. And it's also calculated too. I want to put you guys into this to truly understand your calculation and modifications coming from all connections of this Earth, right? The galactic school, understanding what it's all about, understanding the research of yourself, understanding the research of its Earth, understand the simulation of its interface with its Earth. It's nothing but computers operation. So you have to understand the operations of the traveling mechanisms of the simulation because it's nothing but a maze. So this maze is extremely real. Okay, so I want you guys to walk around and tell me what you see, all right? Your electrical lights and everything in digital frames, you're going to go through a lot of mazes. You're going to go through a lot of doors. You're going to go through a lot of graphs. You're going to go through a lot of electrical fences. You're going to go through waving cycles of realms. You're going to go through particle energy systems. You're going to go through traction positions of perceptions. You're going to go through solar connections. You're going to go through energy light practice systems. Your vibrational system and your Schumann resonance will be extremely high through vibration, but extremely balanced. Imagine how fast your thoughts are 20,000 years later. So This will open up all your cycle rotations. So when you go back, okay, to the fifth dimensional system of 2021, right, you will feel relieved. You'll feel more activated, and you'll feel more energetic, and you understand more of the truth, right? Truth is everything. So everything through the earth is connection to you. So you understand the research through your chakra system is communication. Traveling is extremely real through modifications. It's just understanding how to navigate, okay, navigate your body systems to its traveling recognition light systems. So, biotech, yeah. All right, so basically, I'm going to walk you through that and show you exactly what it is to the particle system. All right, so we're in this position, right? It's out of its equations, disappeared, right? It's not there, right? See, it's gone. Okay. So when it disappears, what happens? You go through the waving cycle, you go through the projections, you go through the shapes anomalies. Now, truly understanding what it is amazing. Okay, so you get into more form of what the actual Earth is through calculation. The more you travel, the more you see. So it starts off at this, right? So it goes into so many connections of all locations. You get this location, you got this location, you got this location, right? And over here, you got another here, and it goes a lacing line position, goes to here, goes to here, goes to here, goes to here. So we start off with that, right? Now it's trying to understand what you're doing through modifications. It goes through so many connection line systems. It's allocated in so many point location divisions, all right? It's crossing on so many levels of activation cycles through its position. It opens up everything to its calculation, to your disintegration line systems, to your projection activation core system, right? So that's the Earth. That's the Earth. 20,000 years, okay? So if you understand that the Earth has to change, if you understand the Earth has to change through shape, if you understand the Earth has to change through environment, if you understand the Earth has to change through space and time, you have to understand what 20,000 years gives to the Earth, because it's extremely, extremely, extremely high vibration. So it's all about the shapes that change. So every time you're walking the surface, you're going to see the shapes change. It's going to go. Okay, so that's what happens when you're walking. You're walking and everything around you is going to change, right? So don't touch anything because I have it all set up, okay? So when I set something up, it's extremely real in the mind. So the application levels of 20,000 years into the future is its our system to its simulation, right? So basically, you're walking the surface right now through calculation modifications. You're in this little triangle position. This is the rebellion force team. You guys are here, right? So everything that's happening right now through positions. So you're trying to understand everything through calculation. Now we go into the digital frame of this platform. There's a commanding center. There's a navigation core system that's connected to everything through connections, right? Yeah. Now you tell me not to touch. You can't touch anything, guys, because you don't understand your body systems. Remember, your body system, your mind and your brainwave in positions, okay, is trying to catch up, okay, because you guys went from basically 2021 to 20,000 years later. All right, so the digital frame is set up through its numbers. The numbers are set up to your body frame. So you got 1 0 traction, 1 0 position, box frequency level, okay, through its equation. So it equals levels to its connection, line signals through the 7 rotation, activates everything through the 8 center system, applicates levels on the weather connections, and it opens up everything through the cycle rotations of the structure level connections. Okay? All right, these are numbers, shapes, and letters. So it's understanding your modification, your body system. So the Earth rotation center of its position is scanning everybody's body framing right now through calculation. So it's going. So remember, it's understanding that you have to understand your voice change every single time you go through dimensions of time. The traveling recognitions of your thoughts changes everything through shapes, right? So it's understanding everything that you see through projection is nothing but computer operation system. It's connected to the waving cycles of its digitals, right? And it's connected to its path of its recognition light system. So your body system, okay, is really understanding more calculation, right? So when you guys go back to tractions of 2021, you'll be a little bit more smarter in knowledge through calculation when it comes into numbers. So you understand more of travel and recognitions of what 444 is, all right, through that modifications. Because you guys are coming into that division, and the Earth wanted me to travel you to 20,000 years in the future so you can understand the applications of your 100 rotation centers to its position. Okay? You have to understand what's going on through calculations. You have to understand what's going on with your body of travels, with your thoughts. You have to understand your chakra system of communication, right? All right, so we're going to come out of the cycle. We're going to come into the digital frame. Okay, and there's going to be an electrical door. It's going to open up through its traction. Now I'll open up his traction. Your commander is there. You'll see your commander, right? He's in an energy form through a holographic system. So you're going to see perceptions of me. We've done that through travels, right? So I already have the code frequency level set up for everybody to see through perception. Okay, so we're going to go through the electrical door system. I set the code frequencies. All right, so it's set its location. Open up the door. Okay, so the door's open. Right, you guys are ready to go. Apply to division level system. Force team allocate their positions. Don't put them on the walk surface and locations through electronic boards. Just put them on the position level system. They're in a flotation device of 20,000 years into the future. Use their activation cycles through the holographic system. Okay, so you're going to have come across Zeron. Zeron is basically a guard. So he's protecting everything through digital frames. He's a computer operating system. He's a navigation to its Earth of 20,000 years in the future, right? So he's going to come into voicing grid patterns, right? Voicing grid patterns coming into communication line signals. This is the Galactic Force team of the Rebellion Alliance. Proceed. All right, so you hear that, right? That's not me, that's him. So you understand how fast it goes through thoughts and how you go through so many travel positions. All right, so you guys are walking the surface through calculation. You're going to see shapes, anomalies in the atmosphere positions. Everything's going to change in position. So the atmospheres, and you're going to see everything through archetypes change shapes and letters and numbers. So they're coming at you through traction, and they're just basically going around your circles. They're going around your body circles. Your body circles are activating through your holographic system, right? So it's line communicating through your holographic lines. So it's going, right, proceed. All right, so basically now you can go through, right? So you understand how powerful it is when it comes to security line defense through these connections. All right, so we're going through the cycle. We're going to walk its system through calculation and modification line systems at position. We're going to line communicate those line signals. Here we go. Okay, so we're walking, right? Now there's electrical light of a walking surface that's connected to the gamma operations. Now there's center systems of doors on each side connection line system. Don't touch them at all because it's all computed through its operation cycle. Everything's calculated and modified through the brain location positions. All right, so we got those door recognition light systems. Now we're going to have laser connections coming into direction. So it's going to be something like this. Okay, so you get electrical lights, laser recognition systems, security line defense. So it's protecting everything that's going on through calculation modification through each aisle of its shapes and anomalies. All right. So the center position shows you exactly what the Earth is, 20,000 years. It's nothing but a shape. It's nothing but a digital. It's nothing but a computer. It's an operation to its calculation. But remember, 20,000 years, this is where you connect to robots. This is where you connect to, you are a connection to a robot through the mind system. So you have to send the application levels when it comes into guards, security guards, or anything through form, or everything through navigation. So every time you're walking, okay, every time you're walking forward, everything through the back right there, when you're walking the surface, the shapes are changing. They're changing each time, right? So every time you're looking at the wall, the shapes, everything moves. So it's line signaling, and everything through your thoughts is recognizing more of shapes of what's going on through your visualization. So if you're coming into traction positions and you're thinking of something, you're going to change the wall interference. Okay, you're going to change the walking surface. you're going to change your positions, right? When it comes to mind telepathy, right? So be cautious in what you say through your thoughts, because you're creating everything through the wall. The wall is interfering line communications. It's licensing line divisions to your body conceptual mind system. So it's powerful when you see something like this. The Earth-shaped rotation of its computer operation center of its communication cycle to its computer operation system is 20,000 years into the future. You guys are 20,000 years into the future. So yeah, Tron, very good. It's exactly what it is. It's Tron. So everything that you see around you is illumination. It's lights. Okay. So everything you see through perception changes very quickly. Very, very quickly. Okay. I know this because I had to know this. So think of your commander going to every dimension of time, seeing what the Earth looks like, seeing how fast shapes changes through its thoughts, of its recognition of time, through its position, through its digital brain, through its computer operation line centers. So it's understanding what the Earth of the simulation looks like, right? It's incredible, isn't it? So, and everything's so magnetic, but your thoughts are so fast. So basically, when you're saying something, if Tina says something to Angel and Angel says something back, you're communicating not just with each other, but you're communicating with everything through the atmospheres inside the Earth of the simulation. So the simulation knows exactly what you're saying because it's connected to the body frame system. Okay. So watching kiddos play Minecraft really puts things in perspective. Yeah. So Angel is connecting to that. So it's kind of like being in that video game, but you guys are in the center position of the simulation of its video game. Right. And it's gone. It's not there, is it? It's totally disappeared because it's in a traveling recognition of 20,000 years into the future, guys. It's funny too, because I see it, right? In the reflection on the other side. I actually see it on the other side. So it's a reflection of the window, right? So you can change anything through direction and you wouldn't even know it because it's in the simulation. Okay, so your perceptions and your eyes and your mind and your thoughts have to be in the balanced location of 20,000 years into the future. Okay, you can't have your eyes in 10,000. You can have your mind in 20,000. You can't have your heart in 5,000. Everything has to be in balance, because if you put yourself on the grounding formation of 20,000 years into the future of the simulation, it's not going to understand your reading graphs. And it certainly is not going to understand you through thought. Okay. So you're going to have problems with that through connections, and you get the guards that come up, right? Xiron or anything through Zarius. There's a lot of Z's when it comes into Tron. Okay. So basically you're in the Tron years. Okay. And that's amazing how Angel connected to that. So you're in the Tron years. Okay. Anybody seen the movie Tron? Right. So yeah, it's a puzzle box. It's basically, it's a maze. It's trying to understand what it is. So this is truly understanding that you're looking at extremely, 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 extremely high, right, intel. Okay, 20,000 years of its simulation of its Earth and what it looks like. Right. So everything around you, okay, is nothing but digital. Right. So it's going extremely fast. So if you say something, you're changing everything in front of you and you're changing everything in back of you, because every single time you take a step, right, you're changing the thoughts of time. You're changing the board, you're changing the wall, you're changing the shape, okay, of the Earth. So it's really complicated stuff if you don't understand everything through calculation. But the mind, the brain, the heart, and soul have to be 20,000 years into the future through line signal, okay? We're living in Tron and Dune. Yeah, the spice. Oh, yeah. I saw Dune. Yeah, that was way back. But yeah, I remember that. And the sand dunes and those things that come out from under, you know, the sand, right? Totally, totally. Sting was in that too. That was a pretty good movie. I watched it. So truly understand, you know, be cautious in what you do. Be cautious, don't touch anything. Just walk, okay? But look behind you, okay? Because it's intelligence that is following you. Every time you change your vibration of your body frame, your heat signatures, it changes the patterns of communication to the wall. It changes, it can changes compassion. It opens up all your cycle rotation of your thoughts to your lacing lines, to your digital frames, to your calculation of travel positions. Okay, so so Andrew, you came on the right time. That's pretty incredible. How you came into that, right? So, and the thing is, you don't want to miss my classes because you don't know which one's going to be to the next. Now, all the new viewers will basically, they just go through the energies. They go through blinkety lights. They'll try to put two and two together, try to understand what's going on. They'll see a lot of waving cycles through their body frames, but they'll be fine. They'll be totally fine. But in position, when you go to higher rise levels, the simulation of its Earth through its magnetic force wanted you guys to understand, because you're coming into 100 rotation cycles, a liquid formation system to understand more of your thoughts of lights and shapes and everything through colors and everything through its activation cycle, through its position. So yeah. But I wanted to put you guys into that, right? Because I was communicating 20,000 years in the simulation of the Earth. The correlation center was saying, hey, put the force team 20,000 years so they get a better understanding that they're not just alone. When you communicate to the simulation of the interface of the Earth, you're communicating everything around you through thought, right? So imagine that you're creating thoughts, you're changing everything through the simulation of this Earth just by shapes. You're changing the position, right? I don't know if there's a movie on that, but if you understand clocking dimensions of time, so think of it this way. Perfect example, okay? We'll go back into this, but right now it's in the simulation, okay? So basically, we'll go into the waving cycle through its position. Okay, so we're going to go through the electrolytes. Okay, we got to go through this. Okay, it's like security line defense. So the waving cycle through its position, it's going to disappear through its position. It knows it's your body frame through its position, so it's going to disappear. Okay, here we go. All right, so it's disappeared. Now we can walk through, right? So we're going to come up against another guard. All right, so we're going to walk the surface positions. You have to understand 20,000 years is extremely protected through the Earth rotation. So imagine that the Earth can go in any dimension of time. So your commander travels at every position through its Earth, 7,020, 10,020, 20,020, 40,020, 1 trillion years, 1 trillion years into the future, what the Earth looks like. Imagine that. I can't put you up there. It's too high rise. But what I can do, the Earth is giving you what you can see, okay? What you can feel, what you can hear, right? So it's all about using your senses through your transformation light system. Now, everything through dimensions of travel through its recognition. So we're going to travel through its position. All right, so we're walking the surface. We're going into that waving cycle through its position again. All right, so we're going through. Okay, here we go. So we're walking through, right? We started here, now we're up here, and there's a door right there. So we have a guard through conditions, right? It's interesting how Angel comes into Tron, because that's exactly what it is. We're coming into the Tron years. So it's pretty powerful stuff, and we're all connected through its alignment, through my telepathy. All right, so we got the red dot signature right here. This is a guard. It's connection. Okay, we'll change the coloration system to allocated positions. So you can divide who's who, right? Okay, so that red dot, okay, is basically, he's a guard, right? He's got to read your identifications, right? Okay, Rebellion Alliance, wait, proceed. All right, so now we got that through. Scanning mechanism light system to positions. So you have to understand every time you walk on the surface, the simulation in this graph is changing everything through shapes and anomaly of time through the system. So the sacred breath understands its code reference to its conditions to everything through your Earth rotation system. All right, so as we go through that door through its condition, it's line signal through its channel operation line system. Okay, we're gonna open the door. Okay, now we go through. Okay, we're going through now. Okay, so we've gone through the connections. There's the guard. Now we're up here, right? So we're basically, we're at the north end. Okay, this is the south end. This is the north end. The north end of the simulation. Now everything through connection is the shape. Everything through your connection is the body. You're connected in all ways and forms. Okay, so think of that. You are creating everything through thought. You're changing everything through the simulation of this earth just by your thoughts. Okay, so remember I was telling you about getting into the visualization when you create something and it's made up and then you manifest it and it comes back to you. Well, it's the same thing with the simulation earth. So you have to be cautious on your thoughts because every single time you're walking, every single time you're talking, every time you think of something, you're changing something through direction of its earth. Okay, so it's extremely complicated if you don't understand space and time through positions, right? Because this is what 20,000 years into the future can do, right? To your rotations and your ratios, your longitude and latitudes, right? So as we come into the Tron years, right? This is the real Tron years. Okay, this is not a movie. This is actually real. Okay, this is what it actually is through calculation. So I'm going to take you out of the equation, but let's go back into position. I'm telling you exactly what it is. So think of yourself, think of a number. Let's think of 7. All right, so I'm communicating with 7, right? Okay, so you can't see it, right? It's in the simulation. Everything's in the simulation. So this is trying to become a 7, right? So when it comes to 7, right, it goes on this waving cycle through its position. Now, because it's in the simulation graph and it's so far into the future, it's hard to read the digital panel. It's trying to read its signature patterns through its marker location. All right, so as we come into that position, this is the 7. All right, so imagine you want to create a 7 to its back force, right? So now you're not just changing the 7, you're changing everything around you. When you're walking the surface, everything that you see through perception, everything that you hear through audio, and everything that you touch through its walking surface, right? So that's why I don't want anybody to touch the computers because I have it operated through a certain position of time. So basically you have this here coming into a 7. Once it comes to the 7 and you say you want to change it, right? So instead of going forward, you're going to go back, right? Like this. And this is how you change the 7 through its position. Right? So you just change the 7 into a new direction from this to this, right? So when you're communicating and you're talking against each other or for each other or, anything through that connection, you're changing the shape of time, okay, to the simulation of this interface. So you're changing numbers of thoughts. So the simulation and digital is trying to understand you of your thoughts. That's what's going on, okay? Yeah, visualize, yeah, the visual and intentional recorders. Yeah, very good. All right, so this is the position, trying to understand you're coming into. So this is the simulation, trying to understand what you're trying to connect to. So you want to connect to 7. Now you get 7. So as soon as you change that, and let's say you put a negative system, it's going to change the traction. Because remember, you're communicating to the simulation of 20,000 years of its Earth, the digital frame. So the digital frame of the simulation has to really understand your 7. Okay, if you use a negative of 7, you got the box frequency of a 7, and now everything through the simulation is going to go back in time. Okay, so that's why I don't want you to touch the computers because I have everything through its code set up, through its coordinates. Okay, so it's important you can understand this. Okay, so in that position, we're just going to go through a waving system. So we're going to we're going to walk and then we're going to vortex. So it's going to be like this. We're going to walk, we're going to go disappear, and then okay, so that's what's going to happen next. So you send the things of beauty through connections. This is what you get when you go to 20,000 years in the future. So the application level through the system, we're going to go through this position, change that location. All right, so here we go. We're going to walk. All right, and then we're going to disappear. Okay, when we disappear, we just disappear in a particle system, but you're traveling maybe 2 feet to the connection, you disappear, and then you reappear, right? So you're going from one portal shape to one dimension of time through thoughts. You have to understand why thoughts are so powerful. So this positions your levels to no separation through lacing line to its location, okay? Yeah, so if you connect, oh, you guys see that light signal come in? If you connect to 2 and 7, you get the triangle. Very good. It's very good, Angel. That's right. So into that position, we're going to disappear 2 positions. All right, so it's kind of like, all right, so you guys disappeared, right? And then you're going to reappear, okay? So when you reappear, you're going to be over here. Okay, so you went from here to here. You're here now, right? Then the equation location positions, right? So all the computers are set up to its location position, right? So the framing system of its position. All shapes and anomalies are connected, right? So, and this is where it comes into my location cycle to its position. Traction location, right? Center its position back into 2021. All right, so here we go. All right, so you guys are back. See that? See the line graphs, line strips? See? So basically it's like a slingshot. So I swing you guys back. Right, so you're back in position into the same position of here, right? And then we go 1, 2, 3. All right, so you guys are back 2021. All right, it's amazing how I did that, brought it back, right? So the position level brings it back to a position, to its calculation, center position, right? I'll show you that through traction. It's fascinating when you do these things. All right, so it comes back. All right, so we go with that connection. You guys are already back in position, but I just want to show you what happens when you go to those location systems again. Location cycle. All right. So here we go. All right, so this is it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. This is what happened. Okay. Hooah! So, how does it feel? Powerful, eh? When you see something like that. 20,000 years into the future, guys. And Angel's right. The Tron years. They had those games and all that, those laser discs, stuff like that. And they had these kind of like platforms. They all illuminate. So as soon as you land on it, it illuminates. Right? So you're activating everything through your thoughts of your body. So your vibration of your body is activating everything through the simulation of his interface. The simulation interface is trying to understand you through digital frame, through numbers, letters, and shapes. So you have to understand how to put this all together. Okay? So, yeah, that's exactly, yeah, that's right, yeah. It's a brain on a microslide. Yeah, that's very good, Angel. Yeah. So how do you guys feel? Feel kind of amazing, or what are your thoughts on that? I'm just curious because, you know, traveling so far into the future, you guys get a better understanding more of your test reviews and evaluations, right? And what it is through modification, because your provisions and your acting cycles has to truly understand the traveling positions of yourself through calculation, right? So, and it helps you out through so many ways and forms. And the thing is, too, is that just because the other team is not here, they're going to go through the same thing because they're all aligned, right? It doesn't matter what position, it doesn't matter what chakra system they're at, they're all going to go 20,000 years into the future because you're all aligned through me. So, yeah, everybody's going to go through it. All right, so we got Angel, Tina. Wow! Lighthearted, floaty feet, feel amazing. Feel like a tablet in water, dissolving. Retribute. Biotech, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Angel's right on about the Tron. It's exactly what it is. So if that's Tron 20,000 years into the future, what is it like 1 trillion years into the future? Remember, the Earth changes the dimensions of time through clocking. So you have to understand 20,000 years, 50,000 years, the Earth will always change its rotation cycle through its connection of you, through thought. So when you go 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 years, your thoughts are going so fast and you're creating everything. You're changing everything of time constantly and simultaneously over and over and over and over. So you're always about bringing your thoughts of recognition of time through clocking to bring it forward, not back. Okay? Because the Earth, the simulation of 20,000 years, won't recognize you through time of travel. Your body conceptual system has to be in the bioatmosphere of that connection. So the mind, the brain, the heart, and soul have to identify each other through the digital, through the time and its frame of its codes. Okay? It has to recognize you, okay, to its intelligence. So yeah. That's probably going to be the most fascinating travel that you guys could ever have, that I could give you, to actually see what the simulation interface is, right? Because when you travel and you see things, you actually see, right, the whole chemistry of everything through. Just imagine the creation of this Earth and where it came from, how it came from 3D to 20,000 years into its future. What does it look like? So everything through inflation has to change. Economy changes, structure changes in the right way. Okay. So the Earth is just giving you a level of its existence and what it looks like in its perception, its audios, and its voicing. And truly understand the conceptual, how powerful this simulation interface is to all of us of travel. Okay. So, triangle, symbol of water. Points on graph is in the map, intentional action, create. Yeah. Super happy to be sitting, getting dizzy and traveling. Yeah, it's common for that when you travel. Try catch grounds at the moment. Feel tingly, feels really great. Future looks like a light show, musically colored and reshaping. That's exactly what it is. So Angel's understanding, every time she's creating a thought, it's changing everything through the simulation of its shape. Okay, that's what the future is. So your thoughts are recognizing everything through your shapes, letters, and numbers. So it's all about putting things together, understanding how to communicate with this, how to communicate with this file, how to communicate with this computer. Everything is all connected to you, of space and time, of travel through positions of clocking, right? But yeah, it's a light show, musically colored reshaping. Right? Perfect example, right? So when you say 7, right, and when you say back 7, right, when you say 8, when you say 9, when you say 10, see, it's changing each time through your thoughts of time. So when you're changing positions of shapes, everything that you're connecting to, your body frame and system, is trying to understand the gravity of its position. Okay? And that's why I'm saying your thoughts are everything through your connections. Okay? You don't want to delete that. You want to keep it focused. You want to keep it in position. Right? So you want to keep your shapes going forward and not going back. Okay? Just imagine how powerful it is to create dark matter 20,000 years into the future. Okay, it's like really powerful when we do these things. So I feel high vibrational energies running through my body frame and system. Yeah, it's just going through modifications because you're coming back onto trashes of 2021. So choose your own adventure books. It's incredible, when you go into the future, like actually see what it looks like, because once you understand the Earth itself, the Earth planes is a teleportation. So if it goes into the fifth dimension, it goes into the sixth dimension, it's on a different solar system. Every time it goes in a different division, it's on a different rotation. It's on a different shape. It's on a different thought. It's on a different color. It's on a different environment. It's on a different plane. It's on a different atom. It's on a different molecule of light. Yeah, it is nothing but a light show. So where you are standing right now, in position, we traveled, 20,000 years into your house. It would be nothing but digital. You would see everything translucent. It's like invisible. And all those visible lines are nothing but digitals, raining graphs of digitals and everything through computers. So it's trying to understand the portals and the dimensions of time. So it's all translucent and it's all, you can see it, it's clear, right? So same story, cover 2, cover many ways to read your own adventure. Yeah. You are your own adventure of thoughts, right? So that's what I was saying, be cautious on your thoughts because you're 20,000 years of connections to the simulation interface. I couldn't put you any higher, right? You got a confirmation and they say, well, put them up to 20,000 because they have to understand more connections of their brainwaves. So your body functions, your body activation light signals, you connect through your own light show. So you're creating your own light show through your shapes of letters, numbers, and everything through its shape. So you get a little bit more understanding that it comes to you through form, understanding how to open up your Pandora box, right? And once you understand how to do these things, you have a platform like this, and all of a sudden it starts opening, right? And you open another door. Okay, then you open another door. And you open another door. And you open up another door. Okay? And then it forms into a shape. Okay? That's all it is. So it's truly understanding dimensions of time and how you can change your positions of shapes of time to its position of its clocking of the space of time. Okay? We are planning on returning to East Star on new moon. Yep, we can do that. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow because there's a lot of things I have to change. So everything now with you has changed. And you're probably asking, what has changed? Your mind, your brain, your levitation, your astral projections, your thoughts, your lights, your recognition, everything through your body, everything through your conception, everything your dream has changed. Remember, you traveled 20,000 years into the future. That puts you in positions alone to really understand that now you calculate and modify, okay? Not just what the Earth looks like 20,000 years, but you understand that now you're connected to that through its alignment, right? But you can't go back there until you go with your commander, because every time we go back there, we have to change the codes, right? Codes are very powerful, right? I have to keep changing codes because the central system of the sun is everything through its geometry sets. So the sun radiates in so many cycles through positions. So every code has its geometry of a shape, right? Same with the moon and its proton setting, right? So every time we travel, we have to change the codes. You go there, change a code. You go back, you change a code. That's the connection. So every time you come back into the fifth dimensional system, you get more knowledgeable, more intelligent. So allocations are coordinated. Yep. Super excited. Stats calling us home. Yeah. But now you're more connected now because you traveled so far, right? So your intelligence is now more informed with letters, numbers, and shapes. So if anything through audio comes in, if you get sonar, if you get hearing patterns through locations of dimensional shapes or anything through vortex of skipping, you know how you go through skipping motions, like so you understand the pauses in between, right? So you're going through dimensional time, you're stopping positions and you're going forward, right? You're never, ever, ever going back through travel. Okay. The only time you go back through travel is you're changing alignments of codes of past. You can do that, right? Because you're representing yourself in the past. So if you understand how to communicate through these things, you have to change the particle of this earth. And the only way to do that is to understand its code of vibration. So. But yeah, we'll definitely go back to the star-like positions. Yeah, we went into North Star, East, and West, and South. You understand positions. Those are identifications of you alone through connections. So this is more of your universal compass, like Linda was saying. Truly understand what is the compass? What is the ratio of the compass? What is the countermeasures of the compass? How do I understand this? Right? You have to understand this, right? Before I understand this. But you guys are here. You're not here. So both kiddos have phenomenon of the Lemurian, yeah. Well, kids are smart in various ways and forms when it comes to illustration. They're trying to communicate through you through illustration. A lot of kids do that, and that's why they put themselves in their rooms. They spend most of their time in the room, and they're creating things, and they're giving this to their parents. Parents have no clue what you just drew, but you do, because you're coming through the creation of space and time through its position. So when they're drawing something out that's something wonderful, that's Lemuria or anything through its connection, right, then you understand, wow, I was there, right, because you can travel through the mind. So if you can travel through the mind, you can travel through your thoughts of dreams. Dreams are its reality. But when dreams become real, that's where everything kicks in with the physical system into the fifth dimensional of 2021. Okay. So think world going, see ships soon. Yeah, everything is closing in through that connection. Yeah, I was communicating with Priscilla. Priscilla's communicating more with herself and Andromeda. She's communicating more with the interlining of herself. The more you come into higher positions, you come into the interdimensional. So when you saw that connection, right, of that orb that was flying through my room, it was very small. But when I see it, it's very big. It's like bigger in this room. So it's going through the other side. Remember, you're going into the other side. You guys see it in the physical form, but I see it on the dimensional form. So I understand how big it is, and that's what interdimensional is. Okay, remember I was saying when you see anything through a UFO, you look at it really close, it's very small, but as soon as you walk in, you're walking into their domain, into their computer. Okay. So we dream, we walk now. Yeah. That's very good. Dreams become extremely real through your thoughts. You create everything through its existence, right? Cosmic glasses. You guys are going to come up with a lot more forming words. You know, you're going to be coming more to your computers now because you traveled so far, right? I try my best to keep myself in the three-dimensional system, but I can't. I can't even put myself in the fifth dimensional system. It's so low. So sometimes I say something, but then I go back up, right? So I have the balance. It's just understanding your travel positions, and you don't want to crosswind. You don't want to get confused in line or anything through shapes anomalies, because you're changing everything through your dream set positions. Every single time you're creating, right? Just imagine how many thoughts you create in a day. Just think about that. Has anybody thought about that? How many thoughts do you create in a day? Okay, there's 24 hours in a day. There's 7 days in a week, right? And if there was 8 days in a week, I'd be doing that too, on top of another 24 hours, right? So think about that for a sec. How many thoughts do you create, okay, in an hour? Okay. Now, you want to either plus that or times that and take it out of its equation. Okay, or you can minus that. So it's understanding you have way too much thought or you don't have enough thought. Okay, so it's all about conformity. It's all about forming. It's all about overload. It's all about virus, right? So you don't want to connect this and this and this and this and this and not understand anything. You want to connect with one line signal, travel to its position, and pick things up as you go through its thought recognition of space and time, through its position. All right? Eyes to see. Oh, you're welcome, Angel. Meditation is safe place to eat. Yep. Start off the meditation graph. Yeah. But every time you guys travel, like I'm saying, it changes everything through your body conception. It changes everything you holographic, changes everything you pixels. Okay. So understand your travel positions. If you understand vortex is very basic. Okay, very, very basic. I'm standing here. I just vortexed right away. I just went. That's all I did. How did I do it? How did I do it? I did it with one thought, one activation, one light, one shape, one anomaly, no confusion, straight lace, all connections to the program setting, through the digital frame, through the perception, the mind, and everything through its map location to its computer operation of its position. Right? So I just went. That's all I did. Right? So you'll see. Actually, you can see a layer. You can see it come out. Like you see it's going. See, it doesn't want to stay in my body. It's got to go out, right? So I try to, every time I bring my vocabulary down, my plasma goes in and out, right? So if I'm extremely high rise, I'll talk very fast through communication line signals, everything, the activation of the core system, they're changing everything, the Earth rotation center, everything that calculates and sending it into all of those systems, XT1000 are coming into the ground formation system, all the cosmic level systems are going through calculation modification system. That's talking fast, right? And then I go back down again. That's balance. So my team has to get into that position, how to talk fast and then bring yourself back down. So you're traveling through your thoughts extremely fast. Okay, so you're going through one line signal and you're picking things up as you go, as you travel, right? So you're sending one box frequency to one line communication to one location, to its angle location system, to its planet position. It flows. There's no contrast, there's no confusion, there's no virus. It's just a straight line direction where you want to go through your thoughts, because it's always going forward. It's never going back. It doesn't present itself going back because you're too far into the future, right? Because the earth doesn't have any relation to your body, okay, in that time of air, okay? So if you're 100,000 years in the future, just imagine what the simulation interface looks like. Now, I'll put you guys up there when you go to higher levels. Once we get into 114 chakras, then you understand more of yourself, fully and completely through your thoughts of travel, through lights, I mean, molecular structure divisions. So. Oh, yeah? That's what Google says, 48.6 thoughts per minute. Now, is that on an average human, though? We're talking about spiritual. Remember, you're spiritual human, not human spiritual. There's a difference there. So you have to understand the equations of yourself as a human, and understand the equations of yourself as a spiritual, right? So it's the spiritual understands its thoughts of travel. It's not the human. The human just understands its brain, ABCs and 1, 2s, and 3s. That's fantastic. But you understand when you take things out of the equation, it's the intelligence that's going through perception, through the audios and everything, through voice and great patterns. So, yeah. Yeah, but when you're talking fast, you have to understand how to do these things through chronological order, right? Because you can talk fast, but you can go through confusing line signals. If you go through anything through hesitation, you're changing everything through its grounds and its position, its powers, and everything through the atmosphere position. Okay, of time. Okay. So just imagine that everything that you create through thought is changing everything through time, through nature. It's hard to believe these things, isn't it? Especially when you're in your lights. When you're in your lights, you understand more of travel through nature, coloration, the cosmos, the galaxy. What is the galaxy? What is that? What is it all about? What does it all mean? Right? So you have to fully understand yourself first, to understand everything, how everything operates inside yourself. right? Because you're the navigation to everything through your thoughts of lights. So, all right, so I'm just going to back phrase here and see your questions. If you want to go through my healing, let me know. For the new viewers, it's great to see new faces. Great to see old faces that come in. But the team is in for a shockwave. The people aren't here. So, and the thing is too, is that it goes through a recording cycle. So let's say half the other team's not here. They're going to feel it right away, and they're going to go travel, and they're going to say, whoa, what just happened? Oh, Commander did something. So basically, whoa, now I'm seeing this, now I'm seeing that. Now you're trying to piece it all together. So it's important that you watch my classes live. And then you understand why you're in these positions. Okay? Because it's all about communication with each other. It's all about communications with the Earth simulation. The interfacing and what it's doing through its positions of travel, guys. All right? Humanity has to get into 5 telepathy of its mind through its psychological system. So the humans have to understand more relation to its education, to its vibration. So Galaxy, gala means ball or party, means all. Galaxy. You can form that in different ways of forming. Galaxy, galaxies. There's never one galaxy. There's galaxies of everything through thoughts. So you're not just creating one galaxy, you're creating everything through its galaxies, right? So in space and time, there's no connections of system. It's always systems, right? So you never really, system is basically a location. System is also plural. So you're saying more than one. So you're saying more trifactor of one. You're saying more positions of one. You're saying basically more parties of one. So you got first party in, you got the second party, and you got the third party communicating through conversation, right? So galaxies are all forms of particles. Photons, protons, neutrons, electrons. It's knowing how to use a photon. Okay, what is that? It's ultralight. It's photolight. It's electrical light. It's gamma light. It's microlight. That's what a photon is. No hesitation. I know exactly what it is. A neutron. What is a neutron? A neutron device location to a wire location position. A galaxy locations to particle systems that align signals to its shapes and anomalies. That's a neutron. Okay. Now you got connections to electron. What's electron? Well, electron is an energy light location to your particle system, holographic. It's trying to read your signals to your body frame system through your perceptions. So Trinity standing light is everything through its electricity, to its electronics, the magnetics of you through connection of your thoughts. Right? So you're a magnetic force, you're a connection force. Right? Every time you travel, you see the sun. Every time you travel, you see the moon. A lot of people are seeing the sun. A lot of people are seeing the moon in the same atmosphere, right? Times are changing now. You're not just going to see the moon anymore. You're going to see the sun and the moon together in one atmosphere. So it has to change its shape. It has to change its time of shape. It has to change its clocking of dimension of shape, right? It has to change positions into the fifth dimensional system. So it's understanding how to do these things through codes, how to change the shapes and anomalies of the sun through its coloration of light, how to change the moon program setting to a new position, to a new gravity system, okay, of its chakra system, to its communication, all right? Because you're all aligned and formed through modification cycles, guys. You just have to understand these things. So synthesize intentions, force winds, directional actions, create the world's galaxy. You're just getting smarter. Who says synthesized intentions force? Wind directional actions create the world galaxies. Yeah, so she's connecting, right? Because she just traveled 20,000 years into the future. So that's what happens when you bring back your particle system changes, but it stays in the fifth dimensional system of its gravity system. So it's powerful when you come into these times. Space travels. So I've got caught up on all your questions. Let's see here. Love it when you guys have questions. It's going through the travels. Yep, I'm all caught up. So everybody getting confused or anything that's going on, you can tell everybody else on the team what just happened to them through positions. Because if they don't understand what they see, there's a problem right there. So it's all about connecting to the simulation, this Earth, and where it is through division of time, how it is a teleportation device, and how it can travel to any positions. So you understand, well, if the Earth was in the three-dimensional system, how does it travel? It has to travel through time, right? So the Earth just keeps going from different dimensions of time through space. So humanity has to get into that position. It can't be far behind because I got to catch up. Wait up. I'm almost there. You know, it's like you're missing the bus. So, yeah, quantum leap. How do we start travel through kiddos safely? That's a good question. Your kids are very important to you. They're extremely smart through illustration, the mind. They have their own creation, especially with Angel and her kids. One is forming on connections of UFOs and understands more relation to Lemuria. So your transformation will open up more and more each time you get older and older and older and older. And then they end up communicating through themselves, and then they are protecting the parents. So it's coming into a new birthing system and then through the vibrational system. So they'll start learning to adapt through their dreams of balance. They'll start adapting to their mind of balance. They'll start adapting to their brain of balance, and everything through the portal of its heart and everything through the soul. They're going to identify their souls more once they get older. Their transformational light will understand what's connecting to their realm of dimension of time. So, and this is all connected to your thoughts. Okay? And that's why it's powerful when you basically see yourself as an inner child, right? Drawing pictures out, right? And showing it, right? Showing it and activate are two different things, okay? Because it's all connected to you inside, okay? So you're code referencing yourself to code frequencies, to code connection, to code realms, to code portals, to its activation, okay? So it's all about bringing up your particle system from silicone to crystalline, anticaryon, antimantle, antimantium, universal core recognition, galaxy location, energy core recognition, galaxy positions, you know. Everything through creation is thought. We know that. But we understand how to use our thoughts, right? So we can have a future. Same with your kids, right? So when your kids get older, they're getting more connected through time, especially more balanced with their dream. If you get balanced with your dreams, you're getting balanced with yourself. And then you start understanding your dreams, because if you don't understand your dreams, you have to decipher them. And everything is done through code. So you understand, why am I seeing this? Why am I seeing that? That was weird. So if it's weird, you have to understand why. Why is it weird? Why is it coming to you? There's a reason. Okay? So it's going through application levels of past, present, and future to your relation of thought. Okay? Anything that you watch, anything you observe, be cautious on that, especially on TV. Okay? If you're watching a horror, like I said, it becomes real to the mind system because now it's projected. Right? It's going to go through wavings of vibration. The vibrations are going to get extremely real, and it's going to run through your mind system when you dream. Okay? And the thing is, too, the more real it gets, you actually see yourself in the horror. You say, whoa, what just happened? I just went through projection, and that projection was so real. Okay? So be cautious on your observations. Okay? And be cautious on your thoughts. They turned 7 and 9. So far, I see my children call nature like controlling clouds, the birds. Now they are having visit. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Everything is going to change to their gravities and their powers. And so they're getting more connected to the atmosphere positions of the high-rise positions, because your kids are old souls, Angel. Both of them are, right? They're in different locations, centers of different positions of direction. So, yeah, I don't watch TV. No, just what's on Netflix or anything through Prime. I mean, it's your choice. I mean, you're put in this position to do what you want to do with your life. But I'm just trying to show you how you can balance things out just with your thoughts of travel. Your positions to truly understand more of yourself through calculation. If you understand yourself, you understand yourself through its interdimensional, because that's inside. Okay? So it's kind of like I see myself outside, but the interdimensional is inside. So it's everything through space. So I see everything. You become space. Like I said, everything inside you is space of thought. Now you understand that, you go into time of travel, and then you go into the light of activation. Okay? And then you go into shapes of creation through letters and numbers. And then you go into the atmospheres, and then you understand, whoa, I'm 50,000 years in the future. I understand the quantum physics, the computers through vibration, because everything's vibration. That's all it is. It's nothing but vibration and magnetic forcing, and everything through this magnetic energy of a highway, right? So understand the electrical light system of you is trying to understand your thoughts of you. Okay? We choose all the info, flow, import, show, kiddos. They find their own grounds, Angel. They find their own powers, and they find their own recognition of time through positions of space and everything through the chakra system. Okay? They'll get stronger in the mind of their thoughts. But because they're old souls, they'll go forward more than others, right? We bring our kiddos class versus, it represents on so many levels. It's because it's time code frequencies of vibrational system. Okay, it's in positions where kids won't understand its location. They won't understand the information until they reach a certain age. So it's more important that you basically keep doing what you're doing with your kids, right? Protect them in all ways and forms. You can do these things through calculation. You can set up energy fields, energy cycles, anything in connection. You can high rise their positions and where they are through calculation, through their thoughts, right? You have to understand that thought creates everything through creation, guys. And that is what the earth is trying to do for everybody, is to get you in a better way of seeing things in a different position of time. So if you're creating something 1 million years into the future and you're bringing it back into the fifth dimensional system, it's extremely real to the physical system. That's how powerful it is, because you're connecting inside. Okay, and your information is understanding everything through its digital, its planes. It's understanding everything through the outer surface, the inner surface, the outer realm of its surface, the outer limits of its surface. Okay, because you got inner and you got the outer, inner force and outer force. All right. In a sense, yeah. In a sense, and yeah, because you have to understand they're connected to their body system of travel, right? So they understand themselves more, right? They will live to tell you, when they get older. Hey, Mom, guess what I saw? I saw a kinetic energy waving star through connection of a realm location, setting all coordinates to the gravity positions. That's an all chronological order. That's space, that's time, that travel instantly in thoughts. I created it. I just created it. And now it's in space, but space is inside me. So whatever I create is vibration. Okay? So you have to understand the information that's inside you. And that's why I took you guys into 20,000 years into the future, so you can understand everything you connect through thought is creating everything through simulation. You're changing shapes of anomalies to its simulation, right? So anything you say, you create, and it becomes, sort of forms into the simulation, this interface. That's what you get, 20,000 years. Imagine what it'd be like in 1,000,000 years, right? I've been trillions and trillions and trillions of years in space, guys. Right? So I know all the optical alignments of the earth in every dimension of time. So Purity, innocence, inner child, unconditional love. Unconditional is the highest. Yeah. Forgiving language sticks, betters when learning. Yeah, you know, when my mom was alive, she always told me that sticks and stones, right? The names will never hurt me, which is true. It comes to a fact. But you have to put your positions on how it affects you and always informs, because it's all psychological damage. I said that before. But if you see it as psychological damage, you actually believe it's psychological damage. So don't let it think that way, right? You are the creation to everything, right? So you can bound off anything that comes at you through connections, right? So play is good. Yep. Play, create, illustrate, activate. Everything is good, especially when you get into drawings. Mm-hmm. You have to have a heart as a child. Yeah. And that's why kids are, my daughter, when she started young, she was extremely informative with herself. She understands her fingers and her toes and all that, seeing perception, colors and lights and all that. And then basically she comes into form of H2O, right? She wants to help everybody with humanity more about water, about protecting yourself from food and what you eat. Check out the labels before you eat things, right? It's very important to understand these things because it's all about your health. Without your health, what do you have? What do you have if you don't have your health? You're lying on a bed. What do you have? You can't get up. You have your health, right? So what are we looking at here, right? You create your thoughts. You create everything through discovery of your thoughts. You create everything through your healing of your thoughts. And that's how you heal everything through its connection of past, present, and futures, right? So you put yourself in the past, you'll stay with that thought through its heart, through its recognition of time, through travel, through its position of its health. You put yourself in the positions of presence, you're going to go forward and have a future. Okay. Peter Pan. Yeah, I saw Peter Pan. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, there's one thing I was trying to figure out what he was giving to the connections. I have a thimble, what it would represent to him. So because he flies around and all that, But Peter Pan, Never Land. So it's kind of looking at that because, it's all about illustrations of a child. And what does a child do every day? They go through creation of the mind. That's all they do. They go outside and they play. They invent a game. That's connected. Then you connect to one to another. That's more connected, right? So they're connecting from one to the next, one to the next. So they're creating a game. They're creating a board game. They're creating anything through, when I was a kid, I used to go outside all the time and never wanted to be inside. So I was creating games, when it came into formation of hide and seek or playing floor hockey or anything like that. I always kept myself busy, right? So it's all about what you're creating. It becomes real, okay, to the mind system. So if you're in the center position like this, okay, and you got friends like this, okay, you're in the circle of a center position, right? Now it's going to disappear because it's in the simulation, right? But this is you on the center, right? That's you in the center, okay? Now you're creating something, right? Now, when you create it through thought, it goes into this person right away. It goes from one to the next, 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 to the next. All right? So it's all connecting now. You created something, right? All from one source of one thought. So it travels from one mind to the next. Okay? And that's how it becomes a complete system. Like anything like a game, like Parcheesi, checkers, chess, connections of backgammon, volleyball, tennis, soccer, baseball, hockey, basketball, badminton, boxing, fencing, right? Kumite. Kumite is more, it's a way of fighting, one to another, practice fighting. But everything's created from source. Okay. Kempo, Aikido, karate, Taekwondo, Taekwondo, Kung Fu, right? Hapkido. So they're all created from one person. Okay. So, and that's where it's connecting to, from the center position. And they all play the same game into its relation. Okay. So, Crockett, yeah, cards, craps, yeah. Everything comes from source. And when it comes from source, it nothing but it expands. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Somebody creates something. Somebody has a lot of money and they want to do something with their mind. And all of a sudden you see a structure of a building. Okay. So if you understand that, then you understand why Las Vegas was created by Bugsy. You know, he walked into the desert, right? He said, whoa, pink flamingo. Next thing you know, it's a casino, right? That's creation. So he's creating an anomaly, right, of a civilization, of a casino. Somebody has to create it, right? So we all have creation, and it's all connected to our thoughts. So our thoughts have to understand what we're doing through space of time. So when you're creating a thought, it's the future, right? And now you have to understand how to put it all together, right? And then you bring it back into form. And then when you bring it back in form, you center positions and you change it to calculation and you put it out to all individual of its population system. Oh, that's great. We just created a game all connected to the person that created it from its beginning, of its source. So, yeah, exactly. If you build it, it will come. Yeah, like with Noah. Yep. That's true to one source, but you understand you are the source of your own creation of thought. Okay? You're your own creation of your own thoughts. Okay, so when you use something through your thought, you're thinking and you're doing things in the future and you're putting it all together. You got it. Light bulb goes on, goes back into provisions activation cycle into fifth dimensional of 2021, right? Guess what, guys? I have a great idea. Boom. 2 years later. Boom. 10 years later. Expansion, 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 expansion. See? That all done from creation of source, from scratch, right? All connected to energy, frequency, vibrations. All right? So try to understand the creation is everything through illustration, because you're illustrating everything through your thoughts, and your thoughts becoming extremely real through manifestation. And these are the things how you get, right? But you have to understand your thoughts. You have to understand your mind of thoughts. You have to understand your creation of thoughts. You have to understand your lights of thoughts. It's all connected to your digitals. Okay. So I think that's good. You know, it's pretty close to 2 o'clock. Oh, I'm half hour ahead of everybody again. It's almost 1 hour and 28 minutes and 35 seconds. It's another thing too, when you look at a clock, you look at the seconds of the clock. 43, 44, 45, 46, right? So how long does it take, right, for 10 seconds to create a thought? How many thoughts can you create in 10 seconds? Think of it that way, right? Count it down to that position, right? So here we go. The centralized systems through calculation, modify, I'm going too high through calculation positions. So it's slowing down through location. It's going to dimensional system. It's setting position in fifth dimensional line system. Okay, 10 seconds, but it was slow. So I'm trying to angle point location 17, 18, 19, 20, right? So 10 seconds, how many thoughts did I create, right, per second, right? So you can time that. That's kind of like a little experiment that you can do. Look at your clock and see how many times you can create thoughts extremely fast, right? So, oh, you're extremely welcome, Angel. I'm glad I help you guys out. So you guys have a fantastic day. We'll get more into the review, okay, of the 100, but this is putting you better positions of shapes, anomalies, to attractions, and what it is to travel through your thoughts and recognition of light, and how you can create anything through its anomaly, okay, through space and time, through its position, through its chakra location positions, gravities and powers, and everything through its position of the simulation interface. Okay, so Anyway, love you guys very much. Take it easy. Adios.